All right, so that's
This has
we'll turn the
been an
page on the
episode.
best Wednesday ever, and we'll close out by reminding you to LCS, like, comment, subscribe to the Brainstorm Comics and Gaming, your local comic book shop, the YouTube channel. Also, don't forget we are now pressing comics.
Yep.
We have gotten several submissions to do that. We've gotten a bunch of
Size X-Men 1. Ooh, that was a nice little stack the other day.
Tomb of Dracula 10.
Yeah. There was a nice little stack going down the other day.
Yeah, it was. Plus, I've been giving over some more stuff for them to press. First Gambit. Malibu Sun 13. Oh, actually, we're going to add one more topic because that's how we how we do this. Comic book serendipity, the kind of thing where you talk about something and it just miraculously happens. One of my former employees, he came to me and he said his grail, like low key grail, was Gambit #1, the gold edition.
Like the gold foil cover from the 90s with like the pink blasts on it, that one? Yeah,
he said he had
That's
never
a great
seen
cover.
it before.
Really, that's a great cover though.
2 days later, a guy brought in a collection that had that one in it. He came into the store. I was like, "Hey, Luis, know how you were saying you never saw that gold one? I go, look here."
There's a Silver Surfer 1 in that box that like, and not like Silver Surfer 1. It's the other Silver Surfer 1, like the crappy one. But I love that cover so much.
Yeah.
God, I want that book. I want like 50 copies of it. I love it.
And then so Matt, who helps put up our shelves and stuff, he bought a Malibu Sun 13 at a flea market, and I called him up because I wasn't here when he had brought it in. I go, "Hey, can you bring that in? I've honestly never held one in my hands before." Like, I don't know, I'm weird. Like,
I mean, I feel like that's one that like flies way under the radar because it's not a comic. It's a preview. It's a preview. It's like a solicit. It's.
And I know it sounds weird. Like, I never.
For those of you that don't know, it's the first appearance of Spawn.
But I know it sounds weird because, like, you're like, oh, you never held it before. You just wanted to bring it by so you could hold it. I'm like, I don't know. I get a kick out of selling something for the first time.
I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, I've been doing this since I was 12, and there's a lot of books that I've never like seen in person and or held in my hands like that. So I don't think that's that far out of the realm of possibility. Especially one with like Malibu Sun. Like that's kind of a weird one.
And then 3 weeks later, this guy brings it in a collection. And, like, do you have any comic book serendipity stories like that where you're like?
You know what? Actually, and I bought it off of you. I was talking with somebody. This was a few months back about Spider-Man 2099.
Okay.
Because I guess there was some talk. There were some rumblings of
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, and then somebody was saying he wanted to play 2099. I can't remember. It was his name escapes me. So I was talking with somebody about Spider-Man 2099, and they were like, "Yo, he's kind of like, this is weird. I've never heard of this." And I was like, "Yo, Spider-Man 2099 is rad." That first issue was cool. It was like the super like 90s foil cover. And then I came in the next day, and you had one. You just take one in a collection. I think I beat you up and took it from you. We haggled over price for a little while, but yeah, totally. That had like you speak things into the world and manifest. So now I have that.
Well,
book.
I think
I'm
that's
super
one of the
excited
coolest
about.
things about comic books is like if you talk about it, like it's out there and people will help you get it. And
Totally.
As much as there is a lot of negativity in those Facebook comic book groups, there's also those cool moments when a guy goes, "Hey, I need this book," and people are like, "I got it."
Yep. Yep. And there are also there's a ton of moments of people who have genuine questions that aren't coming from like a meme place of being like, I don't understand this. Can someone help me with this or explain it to me? And there's a plethora of people who will jump on and be like, hey man, like shoot me a PM. I'll help you with this. Like there's a ton of people like that. So those people always are going to outweigh the toxic people in any community, I feel like.
It depends on what you want to focus on.
Totally.
One of the groups I was in revealed a website that I did not know about, comicbookgradingtool.com.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can type in the defects and it'll tell you what the grade of the book is. So all those people on eBay need to be told like, hey, you can't say you're not a professional grader anymore. Type it into the.
Yeah. Also, there's a few videos and a few creators who have made. I think we've talked about doing one, but making a kind of a quick reference guide or a quick reference video for people to grade kind of on the fly.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. And I think it's intimidating for a lot of new people. There's a lot of jargon and things that get thrown out. So maybe that's something we should talk about in the future and do a little video. But
there are a lot of tools out there, more than when we started collecting, and I think there's a lot more out there to help prevent you from being taken advantage of in terms of, because there are people out there who will take advantage of you.
Sure. And go into a store and ask somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Chances are they're going to.
I would say ask several stores. Like even I tell people all the time, don't just take my word for it. Go ask somebody else. Like,
what do you mean you tell people? You don't tell me that all the time.
Well,
you just tell me your opinion all the time.
well,
And then tell me I'm wrong when our opinion differs.
So.
I do, yeah, it's true. I do. It's fine. No, but ask and always have fun. Have fun. Always have fun.
I honestly am a person that thinks that you should get multiple opinions on, like, if you're looking for like grades on books or prices on books or things like that. The guy who sold me the collection told me that he had taken it to other people, and he liked that I explained things to him, and wasn't just like,
You're a nice guy. That's why.
Wasn't just like, oh, you don't understand how this works. Oh, like,
how did he end up with all those books if he didn't understand how any of this worked?
No, he knew generally like the books that he had that were good and things like that. Okay. But he stopped collecting in like the mid '90s. It seemed like because
I feel like that Malibu Sun is a book that like you don't it's not one that comes across in many collections. Like people who seek that book out. Seek it out.
But it seemed like he stopped collecting like at the mid '90s. So the grading aspect of it, that's the grading of books and things like that. Sure. So like one of the books he looked up, he was like, "This is a $2,000 book," and I was like, "Can you show me where you got that information?" And he pulled up eBay and he goes, "See," and I go, "Well, that's a 9.8, and this is not a 9.8." And I explained it to him versus like just like, "Oh, well, you don't know what you're like." It doesn't make anybody feel good if you just laugh at them or
and you're not going to get anywhere in the hobby by being a jerk to other people. I mean, there are far more of us out there that want to support and nurture new people in this hobby, and new people collecting and enjoying what we enjoy.
I will say that's one of the things that irks me on those comic book groups is they're like, oh, don't ever take it to a comic book dealer. All they're going to do is screw you over. And don't get me wrong, there are comic book shops that do that.
Those are the same guys that are like, I'll give you $15 for that book, or spamming PMs to people. That's.
But that's why I always tell people get multiple offers. Like, if my offer isn't the best, cool, go with the best one.
And also realize that you are a retail location, that like you have to invest money in that. You have rent to pay, you have overhead. You have to make money off of that book. So,
exactly.
Realize when you're going to sell something, just because the number that you have is technically what it's worth, it's worth that probably, sure, but you have to make money off of it. So if you're going to sell it to somebody who isn't just a private collector, if you're going to go to sell it to a store, they have to make money off of it.
Yeah.
So
a lot of times they have to rebag and board, they have to price it, they have to organize it. I will say this was a nice collection that was already organized. So
what I've flipped through of it is actually pretty nice, yeah.
So that I was like, thank God I don't have to organize. I already have enough stuff to dive through. Mm-hmm. But we will turn the page, and finally, for real, end the video.
We're gonna end it.
Yeah, we're gonna end it.
You sure?
Yes.